Hi, welcome back to Gray is Gorgeous. Today we're going to do an at-home hair trim. Let's get started. Please keep in mind that my hair is very thin. If your hair is really curly or dense, it would be probably better to have it cut by a professional. Right, so to do our at-home haircut, you're going to need a few supplies. One thing is a good pair of shears. If you're going to do this on the regular, I would definitely invest in a good pair of shears. They don't have to be the most expensive shears because shears can get very expensive, but they do have to be adequate. An adequate pair of shears is like this pair right here. They're a little bit smaller. They are the Cricut logos from Sally Beauty Supply. These are the number 202s. They run about $60. I bought these a long time ago, so the prices may have gone up since, but these have been wonderful. And these have stayed sharp. I've never needed to sharpen these. And I can't tell you the difference in the haircut with a good pair of shears. So that's one, and then you'll need a comb. And you can use different types of combs. This is kind of the standard. They do have a longer version of this, or you can use any comb really. And then you want to have a couple clips, anything that has a little clip claw that will help you hold your hair. And then you'll also need a mirror because you're doing this at home, so you're going to need a mirror so you can see. Now, I do have one mounted on the wall here, but unfortunately, this part here, the neck on it doesn't reach far enough. So I'm so excited. Let's get started. I grabbed a few extra little these little mini claw clips. So these really work good too to hold your hair back. I always cut my hair with the center part. So I run my comb down and then I push it forward and I find a good spot that looks like it's dead center. Now that we have everything brushed down, we're going to go ahead and separate our hair out. I go ahead and separate my front hair from my back hair. So I separate just behind the ear a little bit here. Now that we have the sides up, we're going to separate out the back. And this separation in the back, usually drag your comb around. Let me show you up close. So if your hair is really super thick, see how you can see my scalp? My hair is very thin and fine. Look at how fine it is. So if you have really thick hair, you want to make sure that you don't have too much down here to cut initially. So you want to section out something like this, like about maybe 1 inch of hair or ½ inch of hair, depending on how thick it is. Now, if your hair is curly, what's going to happen is this is all going to be curled up here. It's going to be very hard to get that cut without putting tension in the hair. That's why I recommend you getting your hair cut by a professional if you have thick, dense, or really curly hair. All right, so what we're going to do now, see how that hair is behaving? It's so thin and fine, it just lays there. And that's what makes cutting my hair at home so easy for me. I'm going to add some water to it a little bit. So I don't want my videos to be misleading in that, oh, it's so easy, just do this, do what I do, because if you have thicker, denser, or really curly hair, you're going to need to put the tension in there and cut it, and which means that you can't hold your mirror over here with one hand, hold your comb or your scissors in this hand, and put tension on the hair at the same time. So, but if you have really fine hair like this, then it's going to be so easy. You're just going to wet it down and you're going to push your comb against your neck and it's going to stick to your neck. And that kind of holds it for me while I get my scissors and make the cut. So I'm going to wet it down again, and you want to cut, if you're doing just a basic bottom trim, so to speak, around the base of your hairline, then you're going to want to cut that initial line in there. I have to see what we're doing here, how much I want to take off too. It's just going to be a little bit of a trim. So I think that looks pretty good. Now that we have our initial cut done, which is called the line, that is your initial cut. That's how long we're going to have the hair, or how much we're going to take off. Now you're going to drop the next layer of hair and you're going to section it out again. So you're going to come up about a ½ inch to 1 inch, depending on how dense your hair is. And you're going to drop another layer of hair to cut it to the length of the initial line that you cut. Now, you're going to have to re-wet your hair down again, get it nice and wet again. Going in with this, and we're just going to push this down till it sticks to the back of the neck, and you can see where our cut needs to be here to meet the other part. Grab our scissors. Again, this is tricky at home. Doing the back is tricky, but it can be done if you have thin, fine hair. Now you want to come to the front and you want to double check that line. Make sure that each side is nice and even, but it can be done. And I don't get it perfect, you know. It is unlevel a little bit, it's eyeballing it, trying to keep my chin and my head straight. That's the key, especially with a bob. Since we're cutting a square line, just cutting it straight off in the back. If you have thicker hair, you might want to use just a regular hair claw clip like this one. And then, so we're just let down another. And this here does not have to be perfect. See, if someone was cutting your hair and this was professional, they would take their comb like this and they would do like a perfect separation here. I'm not too concerned about that. If I grab a little bit more here than I do here, it's not really going to make a big difference with my very thin, fine hair. But again, if you have thick hair and you're pulling too much down and cutting too much at one time, you're going to end up with a lot of unevenness and it's going to be very frustrating. So do keep that in mind. I can't overstate that enough, because if you watch my videos and you say, oh my gosh, she does such a great job and it's so easy, she makes it look so easy. That's because my hair is super fine. That's, I think, a major point to make. An important point for you to know. If my hair wasn't this fine, I don't know that I would be attempting this at home, to be honest. Because it quite frankly could be disastrous. Just to tell you a little story, my daughter brought her friend over, and her friend had really long, super thick, super thick hair. Oops, I wasn't keeping my scissors level. Did you see that? Your scissors cannot be this way. They have to be level when you cut. And when you're cutting from behind your own hair, it's very hard to keep those scissors level. They have to stay level. Anyway, getting back to the story. So her friend comes over, and so I start cutting her hair, and it's so thick that I didn't separate it out. I just started like cutting it, right? Okay, that little curl I'm going to have to handle a different way. So I start cutting it, and it starts, oh my gosh. I cut it, and then the hair is moving while I'm cutting it because it's so thick. My scissors are really laboring to get through the hair. And what's happening if you cut too much hair at one time, little demonstration here with my fingers. If you cut too much hair at one time, that hair moves away from the scissors. And so as it's moving and you're taking cuts, you're going to end up with this weird like pattern in there because rather than cutting it and the hair just falls off, it's pushing the hair as the scissors are moving through the hair, and it's too much hair for the scissors to handle. So the hair is being pushed out, which leaves you this curve, this huge curve in your hair, and it messes it up, essentially. Your hair is messed up. Then when you done cutting your hair and you dry your hair is going to be in the back instead of going straight across. It's going to go like that. It's a mess. It's a total mess. So you've been warned. I've been doing this for so long. I am totally okay with it. I'm okay with messing up. I'm okay with it not being level. I'm okay with that. Putting tension again, back in, checking that line right there. See that? This is what I'm checking. See, you can tell. See that little piece there? And I'm putting tension, I'm pulling the hair down. And you know, again, having a sharp pair of scissors is so good. It's so good. It cuts it just like butter, Now I'm going to let down the top layer. So we're going to let down this top layer here. We're going to make sure we don't have any of the front. We're not cutting any of this front. We're leaving that up in the clip. We're pulling this top layer down. I do have to honestly say though, to get a really good precision professional cut is amazing. When I do go get my hair cut, and I do sometimes, I just love it. I love it because she can get to all the places I can't get. She can just cut that so well. That I just love it. Our top layer is down. So here we go. Right. And so now that we have all of this cut, we're going to turn our attention to the front, and I'm going to show you how to do an A-line cut. An A-line cut is a cut that's shorter in the back, longer in the front. So now we're going to take this front part and we're going to section it. Now I'm going to do, let's see. We're going to take it just section by section, just like we did the back. You're going to roll your hair up here. I'm going to have to take my glasses off for a minute so I can, because the arm gets in the way. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Now we're going to take this line and we're going to put a little bit of a slight angle into it right here. We're going to cut the top of the angle, or the back of the angle, I'm sorry. We're going to marry it with that back piece from the back sections. And we're going to, that's where we're going to start. And then we're just going to cut a diagonal down here. Here is where you want tension on the hair. And then drop the next layer here. Okay, so I'm bringing the last section down here. And checking it, and it looks good. So there's just a little bit of a diagonal here. So it's not straight. I'm not cutting this straight across. Cutting it at a diagonal, meeting this back piece with this back piece so that it's seamless. All right, so now I'm going to repeat that on this side. I'm going to drop that piece down there. Marry it with the back. Oh, see, there's some unevenness there. That's okay. And then bring this down. And at this point, you can double check to see some unevenness here. All right, looks pretty good. I like it. I'm liking it so far. So we got a little bit of an A line going there. I'm checking the front, making sure these two pieces are even Steven. This one is a little bit that one's a little bit longer. So check the front. Make sure they're pretty even. Then grab back here, bring it down, pull. Make sure even, good. Come back here, bring it down, even. And you can even feel it too. I can feel it. Hold my head straight, chin level. All right, so we double checked it. Looks good. Now, what I did by cutting my hair up a little bit is I took off those layers. Remember those layers we put in a little while ago? So now it's more blunt. Okay, so for blow drying, remember that really cute mini blow dryer I had? Well, it died. Decided to go get another blow dryer, and I just happened to be in Walmart doing my grocery shopping, and I found this Revlon. This Revlon is one of their lightweight blow dryers, so it is like a standard size blow dryer, but it's super duper lightweight. I think this retails for about $20. I'll try to find it and put it down in the description box. It's not fancy at all. The back does not come off. You can't clean it. It doesn't have any ionic anything. It's got two speeds, low and high, and that's it. It's your simple basic blow dryer, but it's super duper lightweight. So if you're a silver sister out there who have different problems with mobility, with shoulder mobility, any carpal tunnel, things like that, this is a great lightweight, inexpensive blow dryer. It's a little poofy. I'm using the Conair Pro Infinity, available at Target for about $30, and I have it at the highest heat setting. Thanks so much for watching as always. Click subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. Click like if you like the content, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.